de la tienda que no debe ser nombrada, y hoy tenemos un directo con un actor, con Michael Coleman.
Sí.
Es actor canadiense, actor de voz,
guionista, productor, editor, y es director de Ocean Studios en Canadá.
En Canadá.
Hizo de uno de los 7 enanitos de la serie Eres una vez, y nos va a contar un montón de cosas que ha hecho.
Además,
tiene que ver con el mundo mágico.
Sí, tiene que ver con el mundo mágico. Yo creo que, bueno, no voy a desvelar nada, pero va a haber muy buenas sorpresas, ¿verdad?
Sí, yo creo que sí. Pues vamos
sí.
a ver
vamos
si
a intentar
podemos...
a ver si conectamos con Michael y a ver qué nos cuenta. Hi.
Hi.
Hi ho, hi ho. How are you guys?
Fantastic, yeah. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Yes. Well, thank you for spending your time and collaborating with us.
Yeah.
I like the sign of the back.
Yeah. Yes.
Fantastic. We would like to know, how are you and how did you get on with the lockdown?
Yeah. It's I'm well. I just spent the last year and a bit only hanging out with my wife and my 2 young daughters. So we found out we like each other, which is good. But yeah, no, it's been crazy here. I actually, my house is very much right where we shot Once Upon a Time. I actually live in the Enchanted Forest for real.
Oh,
yeah, so it's a nice, beautiful place. So we've been sort of stuck out there, but I am excited for this new chapter of the world and to see what it brings.
yes.
How about you guys? How have you been?
Well, it was difficult.
Yeah.
Last year it was quite bad, and now we're waiting for the vaccinations.
Yes. So we've just started. We're about 70% vaccinated here, and we're all about a month or 2 away from our second vaccinations, and then we'll see.
Great, yeah.
Then we'll see. Yeah. It's been
I
quite a journey.
We'll have to do it every year.
Yeah. You know, I think you're probably right. So that's, I'm just anxious to get back to anything but this.
Yes, back to normal life.
Yes.
Well, fans of Harry Potter, your series, have sent us questions, so we're going to start. You think?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, and I think I told you guys I have some connections to some of the Harry Potter universe as well. I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's fantastic.
Well, Michael, can you tell us about your audition for Happy in the Once Upon a Times?
It's actually I think it's a fun story. When they cast the characters for Once Upon a Time, I think everybody had a pretty good idea it was going to be a pretty big show. We had Jennifer Goodwin and Robert Carlyle signed on early, and they auditioned all around the world, and they auditioned everybody but me. I was the only one not auditioned, and they auditioned, and they had round after round of auditions, and they had a hard time casting some of the characters. They finally, on their 5th or 6th time trying to find the 7 dwarfs, I think they ran out of short people, and so they had no choice but to call me. And as I was driving to the audition, my wife called me just as I was about to go into the audition, and she says, "Hey, guess what? We're pregnant with our first child." And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I'm going to come home. Forget about this silly audition. I'm coming home. And she's like, no, go do the audition. And I remember I walked into the audition, and all I could think about was I'm going to be a dad. For the first time ever, I'm going to be a dad. And that's all I cared about. And I remember I walked into the room, and sometimes when you walk into rooms like this, you get a bunch of stuffy, grumpy suits, and this room was no different. And they were like, "So, are you happy?" And and I said, "I just got my wife pregnant on the first try. I dare you to prove otherwise." And then I belly laughed and almost walked out. And then I was like, "Oh yeah, I should probably audition. Yeah, this isn't just telling everybody I'm going to be a dad. I actually have to still go to work." Yeah, and I was pretty sure I got the role from that point. So yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
If you didn't play Happy, which other dwarf would you like to be?
The other dwarfs are insufferable. I couldn't be any of. No, I'm. You know what? I don't know. I think the other gentleman did a really good job, and I don't know. I love Lee as grumpy, and Gabe was a marvelous. Nobody could sneeze like Gabe Kuth. Faustino. I think Faustino was sleepy. For real. Like, I don't think he was acting. I think he always came to the show very tired. So I think everybody did such a great job. I couldn't imagine being any other dwarf. I think they'd have to invent a new dwarf for me to want to be a dwarf. I really loved being Happy. Happy was a lot of fun. Happy was a lot of fun.
Right.
Did you prefer being in Storybrooke or in Charter Forest?
Storybrooke for sure, 100%. So the reason as the dwarfs, whenever we had to go to the Enchanted Forest, we had to show up hours before everybody else to get our noses on and our ears and our beards, and there was so much work. And then when everybody else got to go home or go to the pub for a drink, we had to stay at the set and have them remove all our stuff. So we're like, we'd get to set, we'd have a cup of coffee, everybody else would trickle in, have breakfast, and we'd be like, "That smells like breakfast. Is everybody having breakfast?" and then everybody would be like, "Okay, that's the end of the day. We're gonna go to the pub." And then we'd be like, "We want to go to the pub? You can't. You got to stay here and get your stuff off." So I loved both, but Storybrooke, we were just in and out, and that was so fun.
It was quicker, yeah.
Yeah.
We saw on the video for the anniversary of our shop, you had your pickaxe from the series.
I do.
Did you all keep your pickaxe, and did you keep anything else?
No, as a matter of fact, so this is my pickaxe, and I'll tell you, it's one of the things I love most about this show. So you didn't always get along with everybody, and I didn't get along with the producers of this show, which is, it can happen. You don't always like your boss, and your boss doesn't always like you. So one of the things they did is they didn't let me have my axe at the end of the series, which I was quite upset about. But they went and sold it online, and a whole bunch of fans got together, and they bought my axe, and they mailed it to me because they thought Happy should have his own axe.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Yeah. And I was like, see, that's the power of Once Upon a Time. Good will always find you, and your friends will always be there, and community's important, and it was magical.
Yeah, very magical.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely, yeah. And did you keep anything else? You didn't keep anything of the show?
Well, I did keep a few things, so I'll just... So, these are my original nose and ears.
Oh.
And we're not supposed to have those. And I think that's all I kept from the show. Yeah, that's it.
Well, it's great, yeah.
Yeah.
Good start.
Yeah. And then that head you see here, actually. So this is my actual head. It's a statue of my head, and they used it to mold it. But they actually used it from when I did the movie about J.K. Rowling. So I had the same.
Yeah.
I had the same makeup team. I had the same special effects team. So they just reused my head.
Okay.
And then what normally happens, that head, I'm not supposed to have that head. Normally they take those heads and use them in like zombie movies and vampire movies, but I borrowed it.
You borrowed it, okay. And you're looking after it.
I'll give it back when it's time. I'll give it back.
One day.
Yeah.
Don't panic, yeah. If you look backwards at all the scenes, which was your favourite?
That's a really good question. There was some really fun stuff. I would say probably my favorite, I have two favorite scenes now. My first favorite scene was in season 1 when we stormed the castle for the first time. And that was a lot of fun. That was the whole cast got together. It was a really magical time. It was a real celebration of the first season. We were all really getting to know each other. I think my second favorite scene is the wedding and the happy beginning song and all that in season 6. It's probably my other favorite song. Although I think it's crazy. The song is called A Happy Beginning, and I've got no solo. No solo. What's going on? It's got my name in the title of the song. It wasn't called a Prince Charming beginning. It was called a Happy Beginning. Where's my song?
Yeah.
Have you got any good memories making the series?
I do. Some of my closest friends in the world. I'm really good friends with Jared Gilmore, who played Henry, young Henry. It was his 21st birthday yesterday, as a matter of fact. Josh and Ginny, who played Prince Charming and Snow White. Sean Maguire, who was Robin Hood. Rebecca Mader, who's the Wicked Witch. Lana Parrilla was the Evil Queen. Mikey Raymond James, who was Balefire. Colin, who was Captain Hook. Like, we all became really good. Emily DeRaven, Bobby Carlisle as Rumpelstiltskin. A lot of us became really good friends and almost like a family afterwards. So I have amazing memories of that family and that opportunity. And a lot of us have children all around the same age. We all made babies around the same time. So it was kind of a fun experience in that respect, that we all got to make children around the same time and celebrate. And yeah, it was magical.
That's fantastic. Has any of the kids got names like Snow White or magical
it's funny. My oldest daughter, her name is Belle, but it wasn't because of the show, but her name is Belle. We decided that long ago, but yeah.
Yeah, so they have got names. Disney names.
Yeah.
In the series, who is your favourite villain? Mine was probably Regina.
Yeah. I think Regina, for me, there was a lot of great villains, and some of them, all the villains became heroes at some point. Like, I thought Colin O'Donoghue, who came on as Captain Hook, I can't even imagine that show without him. But I would say the journey that Lana Parrilla took everybody on, from being the evil queen all the way to where she landed, like it was like it's an acting class. Like, it's just what she does is magical. It connects with so many different people on so many different levels. I just thought her work was just absolutely stunning. It was a miracle. That being said, it's pretty hard to say anything negative about Robert Carlyle and Rumpelstiltskin. Like, he brought a life to that character that no other actor could. So
yes. I think each one of you had a role which any other person couldn't do so good.
Yeah, everybody was so great. Yeah.
Yeah, we picked them very good, each person.
Yeah, they really did. Even when we had replacements, like Sean Maguire, who came in to play Robin Hood, was our second Robin Hood, but he was brilliant. He was absolutely wonderful. And we had Sebastian Stan came in and played the Mad Hatter for us early in the series, and Sebastian was he was a lot of fun. He was such a great actor and so much fun, and it's cool to see him go on to all the success he has right now. So him and Jamie Dornan, who left us and then went and did 50 Shades of Grey, which was so crazy and cool, and it was a weird thing. It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
How is working with Robin Williams?
Robin Williams?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a game changer. So I met him when I was very, very young. And I never got to work with him, but I performed on stage and he watched my show, and then we talked after the show for a couple of hours, and it's one of the reasons I do this, and it's one of the reasons I became an actor. And one of my favorite parts of that story is I remember I spoke to Robin backstage at the comedy club, and he had finished doing Aladdin, but he wasn't in Aladdin 2 because he was in a contract dispute with Disney. And he said, okay, I'm going to give you one really good piece of advice. Never work for Disney, ever. And then, of course, what do I end up doing? I go work for Disney. In my defense, he did Aladdin Part 3. He also went back to Disney. So I feel...
Oh, right. Did you feel better?
He was probably one of the kindest... You know what's really weird? I think he might be one of the greatest actors and comedians of all time. But when you were in a room with him, he only cared about your story. His story, what have I done? Let's talk about you. He was just such a kind, interested, engaged human. It was so rare. And he was such a beautiful man. Such a beautiful man.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Do you like being a voice actor?
I do. Yeah.
And, well, you put your voice to a lot of series, television. Which is your favourite?
I like both. I like doing both. I do a lot of things. So I write movies and TV shows. I act in them. I have a really cool opportunity to do a lot of different things. I just really like storytelling, and I can't say much about it, but I am in the middle. I write a new cartoon series that has myself as one of the voices, and one of my very famous friends from this show is also one of the voices, and so we're going to be reunited in a show coming out very soon. And it's a new cartoon series, and it'll have myself and one of those people.
Oh, okay. You were Goblin in Magic Beyond Words.
Yeah.
Film of J.K. Rowling. How did you get the role?
You know what? It's funny because whenever you get cast in something, like you never want somebody to look at you and say, you know what? I'm thinking I need somebody really greedy and unlikable, or, you know what, I thought of you first. As soon as I thought I need somebody who looks kind of funny, super greedy, boom, your name came to mind. That's kind of how it happened. The director is a friend of mine. We had worked together on a couple other projects, and he said, hey, I got this weird little movie I'm doing, but I think you'd be really great in one of the roles. And I thought I was going to be the love interest or the prince, but no. Nope. Goblin.
Well, it's a good role, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a great role. It was a lot of fun. And it was just cool to be a part of that universe in some respect. So I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I should actually show you. So I take you for a quick little. So this is my school that we're at. I own an acting school here, and one of the things we do at this school is we have different classes that come in here, and we name them all after the different houses, and they actually get points. Yeah. So we play Hogwarts for real here at a post-secondary school.
And who's winning?
You know what? You know who's not winning is Slytherin. Those guys are trouble.
I see him.
I can tell you. They're doing great. But Slytherin, holy cow, those kids. They're always looking for trouble. I don't know what's with those guys.
Well, he's the same.
What are you gonna do?
How long did you take when they did the makeup for the film of Goblin?
A long time. Because first you have to create like that statue head that I showed you, and then I also I'll show you one more thing. Actually, I lied. I did. Shh. Take one more thing. So these are where they. Those are my hands, and there's my little goblin hand in real life.
Oh yeah!
Wow.
Yeah, so they made so to make my hands and to make my head, it took a long time, and then they had to make gloves and all that, and then after they make the hands and the gloves and all this, then you have to wear it and it was a process of several days and several hours. I love it. It's lots of fun, but it's a lot of work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you feel part of Harry Potter family?
What's that?
Do you feel part of the Harry Potter family?
Do I feel happy or sad?
Belonging to the family of Harry
I
Potter.
feel like I belong to the
universe of Harry Potter.
Universe.
Yeah, I do actually. You know what? I think it's really interesting. I feel like there's, especially in, social media has shifted fandoms forever, and you're going to end up with different types of people in your family. And the one thing that you can change is family, and you don't always have to like your family, but you got to love your family. And I think
you've got no choice.
So I've never received anything but love or affection for what we've done in the Harry Potter universe. I think it was a lot of fun. It was a cool little sort of look at JK's life, and I know there's always going to be people who like this, hate this, don't want that, whatever the case may be. I have 3 younger brothers. I fight with them all the time. It's just what families do. But I love them. I love them. They're idiots, but I love them.
Did you meet J.K. Rowling?
What's that?
Did you meet
did I meet
J.K.
J.K. Rowling? No, I haven't. You know what? I haven't. I haven't had the opportunity to meet J.K. Rowling at all. I've met some really cool people. I've done a little bit of work for Marvel, so I got to go hang out with Stan Lee, the Marvel. I got to hang out with Stan quite a bit with with those projects, but I never got to meet JK with the Harry Potter universe, unfortunately. But who knows? There's still time.
Yes, always, yeah.
Yeah.
Which Hogwarts house do you belong to?
I'd be Gryffindor for sure. I'm Gryffindor.
Like me.
Yeah. So, but I would also say, I got a little Hufflepuff in me, but I'm Gryffindor.
That's good time, yeah.
Who is your favorite character of Harry Potter?
Without question. No, it's so tough. I'm going to give you 2 answers. The one I identify with the most is Ron Weasley. I love Ron Weasley. I love all Weasleys. You can't go wrong with the Weasleys. You need a Weasley. Everybody needs a Weasley. But I would say Severus Snape was just Alan Rickman, man, he did nothing and it was everything. He just a gift. What an amazing performer. But that means everybody was so good. But yeah, I identify with Ron Weasley because he's a giant, big, goofy nerd. But I thought Snape was just a G. Snape reminded me a little bit of what Lana did here with Once Upon a Time. Like just a great, complicated character.
Yes, it was. Can you tell us about your next projects?
Yeah, sure. I got a couple different shows going. So I have the cartoon series with one of my Once Upon a Time friends. That's coming up. I have a TV show that I do called Hipsterverse. So it's kind of like there's a comedy show in the U.S. called Parks and Rec. It's very much like The Office from the U.K. I write and perform in a show like that. So it's just a bunch of really awkward, silly humor with a bunch of very, very talented other performers. What the heck else am I doing? I've written the next movie for the gentleman who did the Magic Beyond Words. I've written his next movie. We wrote it together, actually. And then we have that in production. And then I have a feature film and one more TV show for Netflix. So I got a bunch of different movies and TV shows that are in the works. And then I'm releasing an album, a musical album. So I've been busy.
You've been busy, or you're going to be busy.
Yeah. I'm not sure anybody's going to buy any of it or watch it. But
Well, you're trying.
Yeah. it's kind of like when I make a project, it's kind of like when I tell a joke, I don't really tell it for anybody else. I tell my jokes for me. I always laugh at my jokes. I think I'm hilarious. And it's the same with everything else. I make my TV shows for me. If people want to watch, cool, but I really made that for me.
That's good. Yeah, a good way of seeing it all, yeah.
Yeah.
And the last question, have you ever been to Spain?
Not yet. I would love to go to Spain. I would love to go to Spain, and I'm going to want to go to Spain for a very. I have Spain as a very romanticized idea because of the character Inigo Montoya from The Princess Bride. So I just think Spain to me is all just magic, romance, great food, beautiful sights. It feels like a magical place. So I'd very much like to go to Spain.
We'll hope one day you could come, and you can come to.
When I do, I'm coming there for sure. I'm going to buy out half your store, I'm sure, because I think you have such a cool shop. I cannot wait to come and lose all my money to you. It's going to be fun.
We'll have you first stop here.
Yes. Get me before I spend it anywhere else. I'll have to go home the next day. I'll come for one day. All my money gone. I bought Harry Potter stuff.
Well, we'll invite you to dinner after.
Please do that. Yeah, I'm not sure I can pay, but thank you.
Fantastic, yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's all the questions they've sent us.
Michael, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. It was really cool, and I look forward to seeing you guys in person when the world opens up a little bit. That'll be lovely.
Yes, I hope so. And thank you for your time.
Lovely, guys. You guys have a great day.
Yes, take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.